Hello and welcome to Eastern Horizon. You're watching Eastern Horizon live broadcast on Facebook, Twitter, and X. Tension between Iran and United Arab Emirates has been rising over the three islands, for which GCC has given a recent statement on the three islands. Tehran has claimed the Thailand claims has violated that said that the GCC statements is actually violate the Iran's sovereignty. So to discuss on this topic, I have joined by two honorable guests, one from Iran and one from Bahrain. So from Iran, I have joined by Mahdi Tehrani. He is the deputy of the International Affairs, Islamic Motalefeh Party of Iran. And from Bahrain, I have joined by Abdulla Aljenaid, a Bahrainian geopolitical columnist. Thank you very much for joining me.
Pleasure.
So let me go to Mahdi Tehrani. So Mahdi, how you see the
It's an honor to be with you today.
So let me go to Mahdi. So how you see the statement, sir, that comes from the Iran speaker Muhammad Bagher on Saturday, who condemned the statement of the GCC, and he has a very strong words on this statement. So how you elaborate his statement?
Yes, because we think that these three islands historically belongs to Iran, and there will be no negotiation about these islands. Absolutely. So these kind of statements that you mentioned, actually, they come under the pressure of Western countries. We think so. And it's a part of bigger plans that they have for the region. And they try to force the GCC countries to put this kind of sentence in the statements. Absolutely, the three island is not negotiable. These three islands belongs to Iran, and Iranian people live there, and also we as Islamic Motalefeh Party of Iran that have 31 branches of our party in all over the country. We have representatives in the area of these three islands also. The discussion about that, it's very clear that these islands belong to Iran, and we think this is the plan that Western countries, some of them, try to put together and bring the area in tension and put the Middle East countries against each other.
So let me bring to Mr. Abdullah Aljenaid from Bahrain, Manama. Abdullah Aljenaid, mean that how you see the GCC statement that backs and reiterated the UAE claims on these three islands, and I think you are in Bahrain, and this GCC statements session was also in Bahrain. So how you see this statements that comes from GCC?
To start with, thank you for your kind invitation, and it's a pleasure to speak to you and also to Mahdi. With regard to the issue of the three occupied islands that is part of the UAE national sovereignty that was occupied by Iran in the early 70s, after UAE was recognized as sovereign state and a member of the United Nations. GCC summits always reiterated the necessity for both parties, Iran and UAE, to resort to diplomatic solutions with regard to solving this issue. Even China and Russia, whom they are a very close ally of Iran, both have reiterated the China in 2022 and Russia in 2023 during a joint statement during the GCC. I can. Malik?
Yes, there is some distortion.
There is bad noise. Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello?
Hello, hello. Now you hear me, Abdullah?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think there was some problem. So you can carry on. I think there was a problem on the Mahdi side. So I just remove him and we will put him again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we starting again, or do you want me to finish what I
You can start.
started?
You can start where you start. No problem. We'll start.
So start again?
Yeah.
Okay. With regard to the issue of the three island that was occupied by Iran back in the early 70s, it is an integral part of the GCC position to support the UAE, reinstating its sovereignty over those three islands. And UAE have repeatedly suggested that a diplomatic solution must be found, and the same was agreed by even a joint statement that was made during the China GCC summit in Riyadh back in 2022, and also the Russian GCC summit in Riyadh in 2023. Both China and Russia have, confirmed UAE right to those islands, and also requested that Iran accept international arbitration with regard to the issue of those islands.
So, I mean that the Iran senior advisor, Mr. Mr. Ali Akbar Vilayati, he also has given a very strong statement. Let me bring into Mr. Mahdi if he work. Yes, Mahdi. So,
Can you repeat the question?
yes, Mahdi. So Iran senior advisor to the supreme leader, Mr. Ali Akbar Velayati, he has issued a powerful message accusing UAE of the statement that quote unquote baseless colonial claims. I think that with connection with Mahdi is quite disturbed. So let me take him on phone. I think because that is the only way we can move forward. So just 1 minute. I think Mr. Abdullah, he's not connecting. So let me come to you. That how you see the statement of this Iran senior advisor of the supreme leader, who called that the acquisition of the UAE, quote unquote, he used the words that baseless colonial claims to the islands of the Greater Tum, Lesser Tum, and Abu Musa. So,
I,
and even the Iranian media is using that mean that UAE foreign policy is heading towards the regional conflict and a strategic alignment with the United States. How you break down this statement?
uh, uh, you know, sometimes it's better even to ignore those statements by Iranian officials, because it's exactly the same for the past, what, 20 years. Every time there's a joint statement by GCC supreme leaders with regard to the issue of the islands, somebody will come out and start threatening and, tossing accusation toward UAE or the rest of the GCC. First of all, the alignment or strategic alignment between the Gulf GCC countries and the United States is not something new. It is integral, it's historical, and at the same time, we have the same relation with China now. So, are they going to claim that those moves or a statement made because China have shifted, or is it, it is Iran that occupied those islands, and it was Iran who kicked the UAE natives from, ejected those UAE natives from those islands. It wasn't UAE, but at the same time, UAE still insists on diplomatic solution to this problem.
So, Abdullah, I mean that how you see that currently we saw that the UAE and Saudi Arabia are much on odd in Yemen, because recently the international media also reported that mean that since that the Southern Transitional Council (STC) have gained control of some oil sites on the southern Yemen. So, do you think that inside GCC there is some sort of this turbulence and some interests are overlapping?
Why should it be? I believe what you need to pay attention to is the Saudi special envoy to Yemen, General Qahtani. He made it very clear that the southern, aspiration, southern people of Yemen aspiration is a just cause. It needs to be addressed. And although the Saudi Arabia have mobilized forces toward the Yemeni Saudi border, but they didn't intervene while they have the capacity to do that. So for the Saudis and UAE, they agree on strategic national interests, that is the interests of Yemen and also the region. A failed state or a failed country in the size of Yemen could threaten Saudi Arabia and Oman as well. So we want a resolution of this issue. If the national dialogue, framework isn't going to be implemented, that was reached back in 2011. What need to be addressed probably is the separation of the two countries as being southern Yemen and northern Yemen, just before the unification of 1990. This solution, this current, by force sort of marriage, it is not working.
So these three, when we talk about these three islands, that is strategically very important, because if we see the state of Hormuz, so these states mean that these islands just directly on the mouth of the state of the Hormuz. So,
True.
and Iran have the control since the Iranian Revolution after 1971. So mean that
No,
the those who control these three islands, they will definitely control the state of Hamas. So
act,
for Iranians,
actually,
mean that how you think that the pragmatic and the practical that this mean that to let it down from these claims and to this control, do you think that it's pragmatic or possible?
first of all, I mean, when the Shah of Iran decided to occupy those islands back in 71, uh, it was, in a way, uh, UAE was just born as a new country. It just got the independence from or protection from the British Crown, and then they formed the United Arab Emirates as one unified country. Now, occupying those islands came at a very important turning point of a new Gulf. At the same time, the priorities were so many, and the risk and threats were so many. At the present time, can we live with the current situation of those islands being occupied by Iran? No, for one reason: the security of shipping lanes and the Strait of Hormuz, and even before that in the Gulf. We have seen how much the Iranian Revolutionary Guards naval forces uh, present as a threat to the safety and security. Having those
Mm,
islands under the Iranian control is
mm,
one threat. The
mm,
second is those islands are part of UAE sovereign, uh, right, and we
mm,
can't uh, make some sort of pragmatism with regard to addressing this issue. Iran need to accept international arbitration or the World Court to some sort of a ruling with regard to the sovereignty of those islands.
So, Mahdi, can you hear me? I think that the internet, there is some technical issues on your side.
Yeah,
So, we can see on your office. So, we would love to see you.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I I hope that
Let me back
right
to you
now the
because
connection is.
yeah. So let me back to you. We have been discussing quite, but I would definitely would like to hear from you that as I think that you did not listen my question that senior advisor to the supreme leader, Mr.
Yeah.
Ali Akbar Velaiti, he has issued a very powerful statement in which he called quote unquote that the UAE claims baseless and colonial claims of
Mm.
the islands of the Greater Thumb, Lesser Thumb, and Abu Musa. So, how you see that at which level mean that the rhetoric between Iran and UAE can go towards the further escalation?
I think the two countries are neighbors for so long, and they have so many connections and discussions between each other. And we see these kind of statements with the pressure of foreign Western countries. And we think that the two countries must continue to have dialogue in some healthy situation and in some negotiable discussions, but claims that poisoned from outside and claims that have no background, no legally and no historically uh, advantage will not help the situation. So it's very important for both sides to have discussions in the healthy environment. These islands belongs to Iran using the Fars like some of the countries instead of the good sentences used about these islands will not help to solve the situation. And I think it's part of a bigger plans. As the other guest mentioned, we see same as these plans for China, same as these plans for Russia, and same as these plans for other countries, that when we put together the puzzle parts, we can see that everything is going to one poison direction, and it's not good.
So my another question to you, Mahdi, is this: that the Iran's top leaders have claimed that the UAE recent statement is the part of the UAE
Yes.
extension policy in Yemen. But this three islands issue is not the first time. It has been a couple of years before, even in 2024 in Qatar. There was about these three islands. So I mean that, what do you think that at this time, once again, mean that these three island issues has been highlighted, and even at this time, GCC endorsements backed the UAE claims. How you see this?
Yes, absolutely. As I mentioned, these are part of the same plan. When historically we have the name of Persian Gulf in the South Sea of Iran, and you see for some years that some countries, in pressure of Western countries, try to change that. Instead of their knowing and their knowledge, and they know the history, they know that which name is right and which name is wrong. This is the same situation with the Iranian islands, that Iranian people are living there. And this is the same situation and same plan that you see goes on with Yemen, and the same plan that with Israeli regime goes on Gaza or Lebanon or Iraq. These are part of the same puzzle. These are part of the same puzzle that some countries want to push their way and make a new thing that may bring the conflict to the region and bring the conflict between two neighbors countries. Absolutely, we must saw the bigger plan and see the way that is going to go in future.
So yes, my last question. I mean that to Mr. Abdullah, that yes, let me open your mic, Abdullah.
Sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
yes.
just want
So
to
my
ask. I want to ask Mahdi one question. Before Iran occupied those islands back in 1971, sovereignty or UAE sovereignty?
Excuse me that I must mention that they are not occupied by Iran. They were Iranian island, and for history, for so many years, Iranian people lived there. And this is the wrong statement that we call them like you so calling them. Through the history, it belongs to Iran, and Iranian people lived there. It is.
So there was no people from UAE living on this island, only Iranian.
You know, many of the people.
No. Could you just no.
Yeah.
Could you answer?
I'm
Just
answering
answer.
the
So
questions. You know,
yeah.
you can mention that maybe in some part of the history there were no people over there.
We're not
But
talking about history. We are talking
yeah,
about those islands. Were
we
they
must
purely
talk,
okay? No. Were they purely populated by Iranian people
we
or
mu-
UAE?
we must talk about the history.
No.
The
Let's
history
leave the
brings.
history. We are
We
discussing
we cannot
sovereignty
leave the
issue
history. we
prior
cannot
to
leave.
71 and
let
after
me
71.
come to the gentlemen. I think that we should conclude the discussion here. And I think that we have a very good points from both. Abdullah also raised, I think, that a very, very good insight to get an insight to the viewers. And Mahdi Tehrani also, he has that good points. So I think that we will definitely make another session on the same topic. And definitely we will discuss more in the detail. Thank you so much, Abdullah Junaid. Really appreciate your insight. And also Mahdi, thank you so much
Thank you so
for
much
joining. Yeah.
for the
So
discussion.
we will conclude this live streaming here, and we will keep in touch.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.